I'll go ahead and call today's traffic committee meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. So I'll go ahead and call this to order, and we'll go ahead and start with introductions. I'm Brian Cervantes with the Engineering Division. Direction.
Go ahead.
Maria Fraser within Engineering Division, Public Works.
Jana Robbins with Traffic Division.
Joanne Burns, City's Deputy Community Development Director.
Brian Kearns, West Covina Police.
Steve Goodman, Crossing Guard, West Covina, Merlin's Elementary School.
Awesome. So the next item on our agenda was the traffic committee items taken to the previous traffic committee meeting. Those three items were the traffic review of East Autumn Drive between South Azusa Avenue and Double Grove Street, the traffic review of Dennis Place and North Roberto Avenue, and the traffic review of Temple Avenue and Natalie Avenue. So now we'll go ahead and move into our new items, which we have two today. The first of which is the traffic review of Toluca Avenue and Cameron Avenue. For this request, the resident is requesting for the review of current traffic conditions at the intersection of Toluca Avenue and West Cameron Avenue. The resident explained that the residents of the condominium complex Cameron 56 have a difficult time entering the street due to the amount of traffic coming down Cameron Avenue. The resident has requested for the installation of a stop sign or traffic signal at the intersection to improve traffic safety. Looking at the existing conditions, the posted speed limit along Toluca is 25 miles per hour, whereas Cameron has a 40 mile per hour speed limit. It is at the intersection, it is stop controlled for Toluca, not for Cameron Avenue. Toluca is 60 feet wide and Cameron Avenue is 65 feet wide. Toluca has 2 lanes of travel in each direction, and Cameron Avenue also has 2 lanes of travel in each direction, as well as 1 middle turn lane, which is 13 feet wide. Toluca is classified by Caltrans as a local road, whereas Cameron is classified as a minor arterial road. There is on-street parking allowed along the segment except marked with a red curb, except for on the eastbound direction. And there also is a white standard crosswalk on the west leg of the intersection. As part of the collision investigation, a review of available collisions that were reported to SWITTers were reviewed over a 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023. During this time, there were 3 collisions at the intersection that was reported to SWITTers. And as well, as part of the review, we did a field visit on March 12th of 2024 to the intersection. So based on engineering judgments and warrants found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, it was determined that the intersection of Toluca Avenue and West Cameron Avenue does not meet warrant criteria for the installation of an all-way stop control at this time. The intersection does not exhibit the minimum collision volumes required for the consideration of an all-way stop controlled intersection as stated in CAM UTCD section 2B.07. Additionally, this intersection has been previously analyzed and is currently in the process of receiving improvements from grant funding the city received. These upcoming measures include upgrades to signage, crosswalks, and pavement markings that are expected to improve pedestrian and vehicle safety. The completion of this project is estimated to be in the following year. And then on the screen, you could see the exhibit from that grant funding.
Discussion? Any discussions on this item? None? Just as a side note, that when the Cameron projects came in, they also, in their traffic studies, reviewed this intersection to see if it met warrants. And neither of the 2 developments' traffic engineers' studies said it met warrants for all-way stop or a signal at this location. So we are making pedestrian improvements with some grant funds, so they should be coming up. Any other? I guess this one doesn't really have to be referred to council because it is on our grant to make all of these improvements. If for some unforeseen reason the city does not get the grant, then we would go ahead and make these improvements. And then it would be in our transportation improvement list. So at this time, we don't need to send it to council because we're waiting to see in May. Metro, the Traffic Commission at Metro is going to make the final determination on the grant funding for the city of West Covina. Okay? Any other comments, or we're okay with that one? Okay, let's move on.
So our next item is going to be the traffic review of Lark Ellen Avenue between Roland Avenue and Workman Avenue. Oh, that's up there. The resident for this request is requesting a traffic review of the existing conditions along the segment of Lark Ellen between Roland Avenue and Workman Avenue. The resident reported that vehicles tend to drive above the speed limit and have resulted in car accidents. The resident is requesting the installation of a stop sign along this segment of Lark Ellen Avenue. As part of the existing condition review, we looked at the posted speed limit, which was 40 miles per hour along the segment. However, there is a 25 mile per hour school zone also along this segment. Lark Ellen is classified by Caltrans as a minor arterial road. Adjacent to this segment, there's single-family residential as well as a school. And along this segment, there's traffic signals located at the intersections with Roland Avenue and Workman Avenue. The street is 60 feet wide with 2 lanes of travel in each direction, and on-street parking is allowed except where red curb is marked. As well, we did look at the collision history of this segment from Switters. This collision history was looked at for a 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023, and found that there were 4 collisions along the segment during that time frame. As well, field review was conducted and site photos were taken on March 12th of this year. So regarding the stop sign warrants, the California Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices describes applications, warrants, and placements of stop signs. The stop sign is a regulatory device that is used when traffic is required to stop. Stop signs are used to assign right-of-way at an intersection, and multi-way stop control is used where volumes of traffic on the intersection roads is approximately equal. Stop signs are not used as a speed control device. Unwarranted stop signs may not get respect from drivers, and then non-compliance at stops can occur. Therefore, placement of all-way stop control is only recommended when a location meets the minimum criteria as dictated by engineering judgment and based on guidelines found in the CAM-UTCD. And these guidelines as an overview would be A, if a traffic control signal is justified, B, a crash problem exists as indicated by 5 or more collisions in a 12-month period, or C, minimum volumes are met. And to address the additional concern to lower the speed limit, the posted speed limit is set by law with a citywide engineering and traffic study, which follows strict guidelines found in the California Vehicle Code and CAM-UTCD. The purpose of a citywide engineering and traffic study is to establish speed limits that can be enforced using radar by police at predetermined locations. A citywide speed survey was completed and adopted by the City Council in 2017 and is on file with the City Clerk as well as West Covina Police Department. Posted speed limits must follow what was adopted by the engineering speed survey. So based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM-UTCD and CVC, it was determined that the segment of Lark Ellen Avenue between Roland Avenue and Workman Avenue would not benefit from the installation of a stop sign. This segment of Lark Ellen Avenue has a signalized intersection at each side at Lark Ellen Avenue and Roland Avenue, as well as Lark Ellen Avenue and Workman Avenue. Lark Ellen Avenue is also a minor arterial road, and a high volume of vehicles travel along this road daily. While the resident has expressed concern for speeding in the area, the installation of an all-way stop is not a viable option in this area as stated above in the stop sign warrant and requirement section. Additionally, stop signs should not be used for as traffic calming devices as stated in the CAM-UTCD, section 2B.0405, as well as CAM-UTCD, section 2B.05.11. It is for these reasons that an all-way stop should not be installed in this area along Lark Ellen Avenue. As part of the updated traffic request guidelines for the City of West Covina, it is important to note that Level 2 requests such as this review along Lark Ellen Avenue will be considered by the City only for streets meeting specific criteria. These criteria include that the street shall be designated as a local street or collector street by the City's general plan and is primarily residential in nature. However, this area along Lark Ellen Avenue does qualify for the following improvements which are shown on the screen. The improvements being recommended are to remove and replace the faded school 25-mile speed limit sign with a new school 25 speed limit sign. Remove and replace school zone ahead sign with new school zone ahead sign. Install 40 mile per hour pavement legend for southbound traffic. And trim vegetation around the school's 25 mile per hour speed limit sign.
Okay, are there any discussion on the items? Yeah, normally we don't like to put in a stop sign in between signals. And that, as Brian said, stop signs, are not used as a speed control item because people will just run them if they're not warranted per se, so that's why we do not put them in. So in this case, we're updating the faded signs along Lark Ellen. And if we all agree, it will be forwarded to council for final adoption and approval. Okay, do we agree?
Yes.
All? Maria?
Agreed and needed.
Okay. All right, so we will move this one to council.
So those were our two new traffic committee items. Are there any audience comments on items not on the agenda? No?
Not today, and then
Okay.
do you want to make that announcement?
Yes, so for committee member comments on items on the agenda, the city is bringing the Citrus Act Cameron item to city council this month in April. I believe
Next week.
April 16th, they'll be going to council. And then the other one was the city will be posting a survey for ATP grant funding. If anyone is interested, that'll be on the city website in the month of April, most likely, for any locations that can be looked at for improvements for pedestrian or bicycles upgrades.
And then how, any suggestions on locations that are of interest or concern from residents that the city, that they would like the city to pursue in future grants.
Okay, and if there's no other comments, we can go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Our next meeting will be in May.